friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel. Kind of like a fine sunny day outside. It's a Sunday too, and we have a long weekend here in the US. So I just wanted to make this video like super casual because I just want to talk to you guys about dramione. I realized like I have so many dramione thoughts and they're just gonna be helpful and accompany me in the shower. And then I realized like I have a whole YouTube channel and I have so many friends on here who are willing to talk dramione with me. So like why not just make a casual video with no structure, just talking about dramione. I have my coffee here and so we're ready for a conversation. I say that it's coffee but it's essentially just milk and I just top it off with coffee. This cup is so unaesthetic and also it's like clickly clackly, but it gets my ratio right. Like so I figure out the perfect ratio for milk and coffee and creamer in this cup. So I'm not gonna change it to another cup because like it's perfect. Okay, so anyway, how have you guys been? I realized that we have like so many more new friends on here and I never, and I mean it, like I never actually introduced myself in any of my video before. I thought about doing like a YouTuber tags on my channel, but then I realized like nobody really care who I am, what I want to do or anything like that. So maybe I can just introduce myself in this video with you guys. Since we are like having a casual chat, we may as well like get to know each other, right? So my name is V. It's like the letter, it's spelled V-Y, but if you guys know Vietnamese, it's pronounced V, like the letter. Okay, I was born and raised in Vietnam and then I moved to the US when I was 17 just to start college, and then I've been in the US ever since. I do have a 9-to-5 job like outside of this YouTube channel, and so you guys may sometimes see I have like a huge gap in my content just because it's a little bit hard to keep up with like the 9-to-5 and live and like making this channel. If you ever see me absent from a channel, you guys know that I may be burned out from my work and like not making any content. Honestly, like I don't think my job is that hard at all. Actually, I have a pretty easy job. I get to work from home, I get to work in front of a computer, so like I shouldn't be complaining about anything. Like it's just perfect. But sometimes like you just get so brain dead from like working for the whole week that on the weekend I just want to like lay down, I just want to be horizontal, read something, just want to be rotting. I already told you guys already, but one of my videos take very long to make. The hour or 2 hours that I need for filming, because I stutter a lot, and just because I'm talking casually to you guys now I don't stutter, but like whenever I have to talk about a thing or something, I have to like draft the video so that I don't say the wrong thing, because like apparently there are so many wrong things to say about fanfiction too. And then when I film, like I just stutter, say the wrong thing. So sometimes in some of my videos you guys will see like I lose my voice at the end of the video just because of how many times I have to like refilm a sentence or like a comment about a fic. And because I stutter too much I have to spend so much time like cutting out the stutter and the so like one of my videos take maybe like 4 hours to edit. That's gonna take like a whole day from me already. I don't know if that's Gore's math. Sometimes I just like cannot make video because I'm like too tired. And of course you guys already know what I do in my free times. I have this channel and then I have to read dramione fic. I'm not saying that in terms of like I have to read it as kind of like my job. I really enjoy reading fanfiction and dramione fanfiction. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, that's about me. I love to get to know you guys more too. Some of you guys are like regular on my videos. You guys are my best friend. Whenever I post a video, you guys always go in, make like the sweetest comment, and sometimes give me a recommendation too, which I always appreciate. We need to get to know each other better somehow. Okay, so yeah, we are like the 26th of May now, which is crazy to me because how is 2024 already like halfway over? When I was younger, like my parents always like, when you get older, you know, time flies and stuff like that, and I was like, okay, yeah. But then like now that I am actually an adult, yeah, time flies. May has been like such a rewarding reading month for me. I'm not gonna lie with you guys, like I have been finding a perfect dramione read for myself, trying to find a fic that I would drop everything to read it, looking forward to read that fic at the end of the day when I'm done with all of my like other responsibility. I want to have that feeling with dramione again. I think I may get it with Love in the Time of a Zombie Apocalypse when I finally get to start that story. I've just been procrastinating. I already explained to you guys why I'm procrastinating starting that story, but we'll get to that in a second. But May has been rewarding for me because I got 2 back-to-back 5-star reads with dramione. So I want to talk to you guys about them because like they're just that good. Okay, first one that I read is called Living the Dream by Ally 147, and this is a Villa story, like a Villa Draco story. Okay, it was so funny to me because I don't know how a villa looks. So when I was going on Google to type like villa, just villa, okay, like I don't mention no Draco, no dramione, all the result is like a Villa Draco. So is that like a dramione thing? Like does the Dramione ship just started this whole like villa hype or what? Because like I was like so surprised, but it was a good surprise regardless. Before this fic, there's only one other fic that I have read where Draco is a villa, and it's by Sending You. I forgot the name of the story, but I know for a fact that it's a Sending You story. I've not had many experience with Villa Draco story before, and when I was reading this story, I realized that I have read this story before, but then I drop out of it, like I DNF the story, and now I'm coming back to it and I'm just like sucked into the story. There are so many stories that happened like that to me. When I was reading it before, I couldn't really finish the story. I wasn't in it at all. Maybe I was distracted, or like I was hung up on another piece. The second time that I came into the story, it was just like kind of like day and night for me. I'm just like so engrossed in the story. First that was ever happened with that was like Stray by Kiyonomiko. The second time that I was in there, you guys already know the rest. You guys know how much I love Stray by Kiyonomiko. So with Living the Dream, this story is about Draco. He is close to like being 30 years old, and it's very bad or like very dangerous for a villa to go for that long without finding their mate. He doesn't know who his mate is, so he has to find her somehow. And the solution that he and Blaze we have Blaze in this story, okay? So you guys already know that it's gonna be chaotic. Him and Blaze came up with this brilliant idea that Draco should become a high-class escort in order to find his mate, because that increased the chances of him like finding his mate in one of his clients or whatever, okay? So obviously you know who his mate is, right? What mattered to us in this story is the journey of them getting there. Like first Draco finding out that Hermione is his mate, and secondly him telling Hermione that she is his mate. First read the synopsis. I thought it's gonna be so smoothie, but like it's on the other hand, it's like super soft, super tender story about them getting together outside of his villa part, which to me is like so romantic, so tender, and I love this story so much. Even more than what I just told you guys, like I love this story because the author, she never made a fairy tale out of their story. It's not like, oh, you're my mate and they're living happily ever after. So like I'm just in love with the story, and I kind of just want to talk to you guys about it because I want to talk about second chance with fic. That's my bad trait with fanfiction. Like once I DNF a story, I just like DNF it without finding a reason to DNF it. Once I know I'm autopiloting when I read the story, or like when I know that I'm not in it at all, then I just DNF it. This story taught me to kind of like take a step back with story that I have DNF, really give it a second chance, or like see if I can get to the story again. So yeah, that's the first story that I had in May. And the second one is what I want to rave to you guys about. Okay, the second work that was a 5-star read deserved like 1,000 stars, at least for myself. Like I need 1,000 stars for this story. Osculum Annum by My Delphi. I came across this fic because one of you guys recommended it in my comments. Pops up like a couple more times on my feed, and then I decided that I need to go in here. And let me tell you, like this story is the manifestation of my Dramione wish list. It just includes everything, every details, every headcanons, and the way that they love each other, every side character that I love. Everything is so perfectly crafted in one story. So mind-blowing to me how much this story catered to my taste, even though of course like obviously I don't know My Delphi, but it just tell me like there are people out there who has like a completely similar taste with Dramione to me, and who share probably like all the same headcanons that I have with Dramione. I'll show you guys like the note that I wrote for this story. So this story kind of center around the interaction. Let me call them interactions so that I don't spoil it for you guys, but it's around the interaction over the year from the punch at the end of the 3rd year to post-war. So like it's canon compliant, and it's just like a series of vignettes Pro Max. You guys know how much I love series of vignettes, right? But the problem with them is that they are so short, and I just want more of Hermione, but this story satisfied that to the max. It's just so pure, so soft, so tender, the way that they love each other, and the details and the moments are just like pull out of my ultimate Hermione spell, because like they are just so perfectly catered to me that I'm like so whipping when I was reading this. I told my boyfriend, hey, I'm reading this story and it's just so good that I don't want to read it anymore. I want to savor it. I don't want it to finish. Everything is just so perfect. I finally feel like after 3 years straight of reading Dramione after Dramione, this story has become my #1 comfort read. I can say it 100% confidently, safely, and definitively that this story is my comfort read. realization that I have found my comfort read kind of took me to another thought. You guys may ask me like, how you're not having a comfort read after like 3 years of reading dramatic fanfiction? Isn't there a story out there that you told us that you read and reread an unhealthy amount of time? Like, why aren't those your comfort read? And it made me think about it. There are like a couple ways that I think of fanfiction. Like, whenever I say fanfiction, you guys should know that they are dramatic fanfiction, because I really don't read anything else aside from Satosugu. But I already have a whole video analyzing the differences and the similarity between dramione and Satosugu. So if you guys wanted to know more about the authorship that I read, you guys can welcome to check out that video. Obviously, there are like the top tier fic, kind of like the classic or the must read in the dramione fandom. I call them the pilers in the dramione community. You guys know me use that phrase a lot in my video. So those are the light of like Manacle, Remain Nameless, Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love, the Right and Wrong series by Love Pizka A. And I think of them in terms of like two buckets. One of them is like fics that I absolutely have a good time reading because they are like just top tier quality. They are super polished, super well developed, super well written. I have a good time reading them, but I don't have a good time feeling. I already told you guys about me having like an emotional attachment to dramione because I worry about them as if they're my best friend. I'm worried for their safeties and I always wanted to skip ahead just to see if they're safe and happy. I'm just like so anxiety ridden the whole time reading those stories. So even though I read and reread them because they are so irresistible, I don't come back to them because I know that I'm gonna be traumatized. Like, I know I'm gonna be sad. And then the second one is like story that I am absolutely having a good time reading and feeling. Pop up in my head is like Simply Irresistible by Bookworm 1993, or like Apple Pies and Other Men by Tweet A Peach. I sometimes come back to them to read when I'm having a bad day because I know that they will just pick me up. And then there are buckets like I know that they are so well developed, they are so well written, they are top tier, but I as a reader can fall in love with the story even though I just wanted to fall in love with them, but I cannot. One example that I have with that is the Right and Wrong series. So whenever I tell people I don't like a story, I always say a disclaimer that it's me, not you. That's another bucket of work that I think about with dramione. And then the last bucket that I think about is like fic that probably aren't as polished or as grand or as like elaborative as the pilot in the community, but I am thoroughly in love with them as a reader. And I think Osculum Annum can probably qualify as one of their works. Speak to me so much and they are written in such a way that I can feel, I can see dramione love for each other. Just simple, but I'm just so thoroughly in love with them. Another one of these examples that I think about is like anything by Volfast Totem. I feel bad for saying like, oh, this story may not be as grand as the pilot in the community, but I love them so much. I shouldn't have to make a disclaimer with the quality of the work out there. That's like how I think about dramatic fanfiction in terms of like those 4 buckets. My camera just died, so I don't know what's the last thing that was captured yet, but I was saying like, maybe you guys don't think of fic in that way because I am maintaining this channel and recommending fic to you guys, so I have the responsibility to keep track of fics that I know are super high quality or fan favorites, so that I can have like a more objective recommendation list for you guys versus like an average reader. You guys would just track what you love because there's no reason why you have to track things that you're not in love with, right? So I'm just curious to see if you guys also have a system of tracking your fic, categorizing them or something like that. But after those superstar read in the month of May, I'm honestly in between fic now. I do have a TBR, and let me know if you guys wanted me to share my TBR and what I plan to read for the summer. I have made 2 videos on like hot girl summer read and things that I feel like is gonna be perfect summer for you. So if you guys are looking for some hot girl summer read, I would recommend checking out those 2 videos. I find myself going back to the community, going back to some of the methods that I have listed out in like the how to find dramatic fanfiction to read, to find fic for myself. I myself am also a reader and utilizing them to find fanfiction for myself. Like, I'm in this thread on Reddit that talks about Draco's hand and I have a thing for hand in general. Like, all of my friends know that I have a thing for hand and they call me, you know, they call me all kind of words. You know, like, I just appreciate nice hands. And so when I stumble upon that thread, I just like pull up every single recommendation that people share in that thread just because I need to read anything that deal with the hand. But in a very near future, I'm gonna start loving the time of zombie apocalypse. I started Dejarke, okay? The whole month of April, I spent reading Dejarke, just one fic. And I read 97 chapters so far, but I kind of want to read that last stretch in one sitting, and so I haven't started reading the last 10 chapters yet. No, in the near future, I'm gonna start loving the time of zombie apocalypse. I will start it by the end of the year, like for sure. And now I just want something bright, something bubbly, something fun and happy to read. And so that's why you guys see that I may turn into like shorter fics and like post-war stories that are a little bit less high stake, a little bit more low stake. now that I talked to you guys about it, I really wanted to make a TBR video for you guys just to share with you guys what I plan to read in the summer. And I know with Draco's birthday coming up in June, I may just make a video talking about my favorite Draco's point of view story. That's the deal with me. This video is entirely me yapping. I just love talking Dramione in general, and sometimes like speaking freely about Dramione like this. If you guys want to talk about anything Dramione with me, like feel free to drop it down in the comment below. I hope that you guys love this friendship as much as I do, or maybe I'm just like love to yap about Dramione and I use you guys as an excuse. Again, I hope you guys have a good time hanging out with me. I guess I will see you guys in the next video.